Okay, so we are in the Pearl District area of Portland. This used to all be shipping yards and warehouses, and then about probably 20-ish years ago, someone had the great idea to start renovating it and turning it into more like modern, like apartment buildings and just like a lot of new, I guess, like restaurants, just think like business basically. They were gentrifying it. It kind of like created, it is like the poster child for gentrification. But about, during the pandemic, like most places, everything kind of went downhill. And now there's a lot of, you can't see it yet, but we're going to be coming up on an area where there's a lot of, encampments and things like that. But this area during like 2015 or 2016, Portland was like one of the it was like in the top like 30 cities in the world. And we had like a bunch of stuff. Like I remember the Timbers, our soccer team, won like a championship that year. And then like we were rated like one of the best cities in America. And I think, we had like the best food in America. Okay, so yeah, look right here. This is like homeless encampments and things like that. So it used to be worse. During the pandemic, it was about like just the entire bridge, like under areas like that. But this has been here for years. It got really bad a few years ago. It's still pretty bad, but it's not as bad as before. Here, we're gonna show you more. But yeah, like this area right here, all these buildings were built in the last like 15 years. And most of them are mostly empty. It's, I can't remember the word for it, but a lot of these people, like the landlords or whoever builds these buildings, they're so expensive that you only really need to rent out like a certain percentage of the units to make money back on it. So a lot of those buildings are like 70% vacant and like barely anyone lives in them, but they're expensive. Like Portland's experienced a big increase in like a housing bubble, basically. Everything's worth a lot here, but it's not, I don't know what the fuck is going on down there. It's not really worth the money living here. Because during the 2010s, a lot of people were moving from California and Texas into Portland, because in California there's, droughts and wildfires, and also it was just super expensive. And then Texas was experiencing hurricanes, and so they decided to come up to Portland. So there's a lot of Texans and a lot of Californians here now. And here, look, these are more. So these are more homeless camps. These have been here since I was about 8 years old. And this one right here is probably the worst of all of them. They usually come and clear it out every maybe like 4 months, but the people come back. You can't get rid of them, so, I'm gonna do a real slow. It's a literal camp. Some of these people have like TVs and shit, it's crazy, and generators, but it's not as bad as it was, but it's pretty freaky if you ever walk down here at night. Generally, people don't feel too good about it, but yeah, that's about it. So yeah, think about that.